What's going on, guys? You got Johnny back here today, and today I'm bringing you GPC Season 8 Week 2. This is a tad late. I was on holiday, had a really busy week to add up to that. But yeah, you'll get double uploads today, or double uploads today, like Week 2 and 3. So that's fun, right? We're taking on Gareth and his Passimiangers. Gareth is the commissioner of the GPC. He took over from Lucy, who took over from Bob, who took over from Lars. He might have. I think Bob and Lars basically did it together. So yeah, a fellow admin, very cool guy. And actually in all my 3 GPC seasons, I've never gotten to play Gareth. So it's definitely going to be a fun one. Now, I've actually forgot to pull up his team, so let me do that real quick. So I can give you a brief rundown of what I decided to bring and why I decided to bring the team I did in that let's say constellation. My app crashed. Great. Okay, so I'm just going to start it like this. I know he has the Mega Scissor, he has the Suicune. He actually took Suicune from me, which I was really not happy about because you know how much I like using Suicune in leagues. He has this Thunderous Therian with Z-Moves, which is a ginormous threat. He has the Necrozma with the Rebombi, the Delmise, the Rotom Heat, Dradagon, Mudsdale, and oh no, he didn't have the Mudsdale. Sorry, I spoiled his transactions to you. He did have the Alolan Duck Trio and something else, but yeah, I mentioned the main one, so sorry. So yeah, we're prepping for that, and the first thing I looked at was like, how can I approach this game? And looking at his team, he has absolutely nothing for Hydreigon. His best answer to Hydreigon would be like a Delmise Lure with a Colbur Berry or an Occa Berry. A Thunderous, which can obviously outspeed it. Colbur Berry Necrozma with like Fairy coverage. And generally, nothing of this really likes to switch in. The only things that could switch into this Hydreigon would be the Rebombi, which my team deals reasonably well with, and the Mega Scissor, which I can just flamethrower on the turn after. So, if obviously Hydreigon is the first mon I started with, Speed Creeping Suicune, just because I don't want to be fodder to a Calm Mind Ice Beam Suicune, and then rocking Taunt and Roost because that's just solid versus his team. Because with Taunt, my Hydreigon can easily 1v1 any Suicune. It can even Spadefcoon. With Taunt, I can 1v1 the Rotom Heat. With Taunt, I can 1v1 like Calm Mind Necrozma if that comes, if that's a thing. So I can prevent like Stealth Rocks going up a lot of the time. I can prevent the Thunderous from nasty floating up in my face, or at least double dancing. He will get off one, but yeah, other ways of checking that on this team. Now, that's kind of the Hydreigon I wanted to build my team around, and I thought with Taunt and Roost and him basically not switching into me while also not killing me, this is just really solid. I just need to support this one, and I thought what supported that brilliantly was my Roserade with Toxic Spikes, because looking at his team, Delmise will most likely be his hazard removal, but that means that Delmise will be toxic, and my Roserade with Technician HP Fire can do a lot of damage to the Delmise, and put me in a really good spot here, because with T-Spikes up, like the Suicune is neutered, and all of his team is like really hard pressed to deal with them. In addition to that, like, Roserade is a nice defensive check to most Rebombi sets as well. If you rock Psychic, even that won't do too much. And with 92 special attack, Timid Nature outspeed again, the majority of his team while also hitting reasonably hard actually, and if the Necrozma comes in with me, I can Sludge Bomb it and I have other ways of dealing with it. Sorry, my most likely way of dealing with the Necrozma will be my Taunt Hydreigon in combination with my Core Minding Mew. There's basically no Necrozma set that beats both of these, so I'm really happy with that. Mew with Will-O-Wisp, Psyshock, Calm Mind, Roost, it also just wrecks his team. Like the Will-O-Wisp, I need that for the Mega Scissor, so I can beat that down potentially. And even if he goes to +6 after I get the Will-O-Wisp off, then I have Talonflame and Keldeo, which both can check it reasonably well. With Will-O-Wisp, I also beat the Delmise. I can Calm Mind and Psyshock the rest of his team. So yeah, that's really nice for me. Yeah, I would have loved to run Taunt, but I just couldn't afford it here. But because Taunt's just generally good versus his passive defense, so yeah. But that's my Mew set. Then I have Dual Stab, Sword Stance, Flying EMZ, Talonflame, because if I get Rocks up, he does not have an answer to this. Sure, the Rotom Heat is sort of annoying, but again, Hydreigon and Mew and also my Stunfisk here deal very, very well with the Rotom Heat, and this Talonflame just gets plenty of opportunities set up versus him. If I can catch him on the sack, or if I can force rocks up, Flying MZ basically nets me a KO. Rotom also doesn't OHKO me back, so yeah, that's really, really nice for me. I could have run like Natural Gift Rock, and hindsight, I probably should have. But yeah, I'm still very, very happy with this set here. I'm looking forward to it putting a lot of work in, or even if it doesn't put in a lot of work, it's just a very reliable revenge killer to his team. Revenges the Thundurus very reliably, deals with the Ribombee. Like the only set, Ribombee set that could really, really hurt this team would be Quiver Dance, HP Rock, Psychic, and Moonblast. And for that, I also have a Split F Stunfisk here, which has multiple purposes in this game. One is obviously getting up Stealth Rocks, which is just nice for his team when he has a Ribombee and his Thundurus as two of the biggest threats to me. Plus, I also have the Rocky Helmet and the Static, which means that I am a decent enough switch into a constantly U-turning Mega Scizor, which I really didn't want to annoy my team. So I wanted a good U-turn switch in that just chips the Mega Scizor and discourages it from clicking U-turn, just U-turn spam, mindless one. And I have HP Fire, so the Mega Scizor can set up for me for free. I also have Stone Edge here, which is bringing Mixed Stunfisk, which has actually a couple of purposes. One is obviously the Quiver Dancing Ribombee. If it has Roost, it still doesn't set up on me ever, so that's really nice. Can Toxic it, like even if it has Substitute, I can just Stone Edge it. And it's also nice because that's my best move to hit Thundurus T, because I can't run like HP Ice, because obviously I run HP Fire. So yeah, that was why Stone Edge was on this set. I had the double purpose of dealing with the Ribombee as well, so I really like this. So I really like the Stunfisk set here. Toxic just to catch the Necrozma, to catch the Suicune, catch the Rotom. Basically do a lot of damage to all of these in the process. And next up we have Keldeo. Keldeo is an interesting set once again. It's Taunt, Scald, Calm Mind, and Substitute. Now looking at his team, his water resists are Suicune and Dhelmise. Dhelmise is reasonably well checked with my team, and I wanted something that really abuses the T-Spikes again, so I thought this Keldeo set was pretty fun. Because once I subbed up on like the Suicune, I can taunt it, I can always sub on that, I can and I can even beat the Necrozma if I'm like at +2. I don't really need more coverage, and with this set with Sub CM, I can basically beat down his whole team. The one thing I can't do, if he gets up rocks, webs him with his Ribombee, and this Keldeo isn't as effective here, but I still think it can do a decent job defensively, still walling out, or at least soft checking things like the Suicune. I can still beat the Suicune actually if he doesn't get the Scald Burn. I can beat the I can beat the Rotom still because I easily take Volt Switches, even Discharges. I can also reasonably good check to the... God damn it. I'm also a reasonably good check to the Mega Scizor still, which is something I wanted, because that's why I'm that bulky, because with Scald and potentially getting a burn, then Scizor is really in range to be revenge killed by this. Yeah, so this also outspeeds the Thundurus. So yeah, that's the team here, and I'm going to hop over into the replay momentarily. So, yep. And replay time. Now, as you can see, he brought the Thundurus, the Necrozma, the Dhelmise, the Rotom Heat, the Ribombee, and the Suicune. And first thing I noticed was no Mega Scizor, so Talonflame can just be my revenge killer and offensive threat here. I don't need to preserve it, can use it to primarily check the Ribombee, which immensely frees me up here. Looking apart from that, his main breaker on this team seems to be the Thundurus T, which is also the biggest threat to my team, I'd say. I'm reasonably well prepared for the Suicune, I'm reasonably well prepared for the Necrozma and the Dhelmise, so I'm not too worried. Rotom, I have to scout if he's like a trick variant to trick my Mew. If he is not, I should be able to deal with it just fine, actually. So, oops, sorry. There we go. Alright, so yeah, looking at the matchup here, my best lead is just going to be the Hydreigon, because as I pointed out before, it matches up well versus 5 out of 6 of his potential leads. He does lead with the Ribombee though, which I considered that he might do that, just to like pressure out my Hydreigon or don't immediately be at a disadvantage here. But I thought that if he let Ribombi, I had a very safe switch into my Roserade at this point and could just get up my T-Spikes. As he puts the double into Suicune, potentially predicting the Talonflame. But yeah, obviously I get their play right. I'm going to just Toxic Spike up here, and now I'm just going to pop off my Hidden Power here. Hidden Power and weaken this Dhelmise a lot. As I take a Shadow Claw, and now I just didn't want to give him the free spin immediately, and now I can go into Hydreigon on his switch to Tyrone Heat, which works out very nicely as I can taunt him here, just prevent him from pain splitting off the Draco damage as he predicted. It's a very similar play to, or a very interesting play, pain splitting here on a full health Hydreigon with a full health Rotom, but yeah. Now he goes into his Ribombi on the Dark Pulse, takes 32 plus poison, so you see this isn't actually a reliable switch in at all if he doesn't reveal Roost here. As he does not, but he gets up his sticky webs, and now this is big, because what that means for me is that my Keldeo no longer outspeeds his Thunders, and this makes it extremely hard for Keldeo to do its job this game. However, if I get enough Calm Minds up, I can still do that, and as I mentioned, I'm still, with my bulk, I'm just, yeah, I'm still a useful defensive asset, but not as much offensively. However, looking at his team, I also don't think that I need Keldeo that much in this game, so I didn't think webs were too big of a bother. Mew, Roserade, and Stunfisk all still did their job fine with disregarding webs up or webs down. And obviously Hydreigon and Talonflame don't care about webs, so I wasn't really scared of webs even in prep, so that's why I didn't put more focus on having something to remove him here. But I'm bringing in my Talonflame and I'm clicking SD here because I figured like he might have like HP, he might switch out into Suicune, but he does reveal the Rotom to be his immediate switch in, which is fair point. It's the only thing on this team resisting my dual stab, so I'm just switching out here again into my Stunfisk. I want to get up my rocks to be able to chip down this Rotom as he goes for the discharge. Now I'm just going to set up these Stealth Rocks because I know even if he wants to... Oh, actually no, I pulled the trigger here already. I'm not going to set up my Stealth Rocks because this Dhelmise is just going to be able to spin away the hazards for free. Basically just at the price of poison damage. So I didn't want to do that. I knew he would bring in the Dhelmise because with his most important mons in Thundurus, Rotom, Thundurus as the offensive presence, Rotom as the talent check, and Ribombi as the quote-unquote Hydreigon check. All being weak to rocks, I knew he wanted to get them off the field ASAP. And also he didn't want to Necrozma or Suicune Toxic. So yeah, I predict that switch and I'm just going to Dark Pulse because I know I can take any hit from him. That's not me, that's because... yeah, sorry. And he revealed Okaberry already, even if you didn't see it. That was kind of a problem with this replay because it was from Battle Area. So, and somehow there were server issues, so please bear with me here if you don't see all the animations. That's because the replay is a tad messed up here. But I killed the Dhelmise and I keep up my Toxic Spikes, which is extremely nice for me. And I also know that once I get rocks up with my Stunfisk, they're pretty much here to stay because I don't expect Rotom to be the defogger. So yeah, that's nice. But obviously I'm forced to switch out here and I'm going into my Roserade on the U-turn, which is an interesting play. I thought he Moonblast there, but he didn't want the Talonflame come in. And now I'm staying in with Roserade, and this Roserade is EV to 2-hit KO the Thundurus, so it can't double dance up in my face, so that was something I made sure of, which is why I had this special attack investment that I had on the Roserade. So yeah, as you can see, I'm able to I get a very low roll actually, and I'm able to get a 50% on the Thundurus, but that means that he can't get an agility up on me in the next turn, which means I can just bring in my Talonflame and click SD because I figured he might want to save his Thundurus. Hindsight, I don't know why I made this play. It was a choke on my end. If you clicked agility there and had like Z Grass Knot, I was in a bad spot. However, he revealed the Dark Pulse, which made me think that he would probably be Electrium or Darkinium Z, or he wouldn't have agility. So either way, at this point, my Stunfisk was still healthy. I had a way of dealing with it, and I really thought that he might save this. But yeah, SD was definitely not the play there. I should have doubled, if anything, into my Stunfisk. But yeah, I don't do that. But now I'm just going to be able to set up the Stealth Rocks here, which will help my Talonflame later in the game. But he reveals the Will-O-Wisp, and actually, as you can see, that doesn't break the sub. And now I'm in a bad position here because my Stunfisk obviously is burned, and I can't beat this Rotom 1v1. I'm not worried about the Ribombi at this point anymore with rocks being up. And it dies to anything on my team. But yeah, what I do here now is I'm going to switch out into my Hydreigon, because even if he paralyzes me, really, it does not make that big of a difference. Hydreigon still outlasts and beats almost the entirety of his team, as we now know his full set being Substitute, Discharge, Pain Split, and Will-O-Wisp. I don't think he's going to Will-O-Wisp me because he wants me paralyzed. And now I can just proceed to Dark Pulse him and force him out on the next turn. And luckily I don't get paralyzed, but otherwise he could have like sub-stalled me. But as you can see, Dark Pulse is 39 and he can't recover. I get the flinch, which is unfortunate, but I don't think matters in the grand scheme of things. And he's pretty much forced to switch out here or click Discharge. As I taunt, I didn't want to get him, give him the free Substitute. And now I can just proceed to fire off him under Dark Pulse, because I really don't lose anything by it here. As that does 26 to the Suicune, and you better bet I'm taunting this Suicune too, because I don't want it Calm Mind, I don't want it resting, don't want it to do anything. So he makes a very solid play going out into his Ribombee here. But I don't really care. I'm just going to switch out my Hydreigon, go into my Mew, because I know this is going to die, and I want to be in with my Mew on the potential Thundurus. I didn't want to be in or on the Necrozma. Now, and this is my chance here, I can just freely Will-O-Wisp this Necrozma, forgetting that it was poisoned. So yeah, I go into Mew and I forget that the Necrozma was poisoned, potentially fearing an SD variant right here. Not that it would have swept me, but it could have been preemptive kill, which I didn't want. But yeah, I make a misplay here and didn't pay enough attention. But now what I'm able to do now that I've seen Stealth Rocks and Thunder Wave, actually, I'm really sure this is defensive. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to start Calm Minding up on this Necrozma, because with a couple of Calm Minds up, I beat his entire team. And now this was also pretty big. And now because the para, I'm slower than the Rotom. And because of the Thunder Wave flip para on my Mew, I'm only at +1. And now this is going to be a bit stally, because he's obviously faster than me. And now this is going to get really interesting, because he can just sub up on me here. I needed another sub to guaranteed break him and beat him. But now I'm going to get paralyzed a couple of times, which I'm going to put this on fast for now. Because that really means if I would have gotten enough Psyshocks here or the Roost at the right times, would have been in a great position to kill off this Rotom, and my Mew could have just cleaned up his team. However, as you'll see soon, I go up here and then I get paralyzed a lot of times and can't break his Substitute. And that's going to be a theme here, and this way his Rotom is actually able to beat my Mew. And at this point, I didn't really want to chance this anymore, because this was a PP stall war at this point, which I didn't want to do because I still wanted my Mew healthy enough to potentially be a Thundurus backup check with Psyshock, or even to beat the Necrozma, which I would need a couple of Psyshocks for, and also to beat the Suicune. So what I do here, as I pointed out before, I don't really care if my Hydreigon gets paralyzed here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out soon, go into Hydreigon on the predicted Will-O-Wisp, which unfortunately misses. I would have loved if that hit. That basically would have sealed the game for sure here. But now I can taunt him, prevent him from Will-O-Wisping, and as he makes a good play discharging. But once he runs out of discharges, this game is over, because then I can go back into Mew as I wasted the discharge here. Can recover off the damage, start setting up Calm Minds. I Calm Mind up first, actually, and because now I can Psyshock the Thundurus, which only does about 38% to me, which really isn't much, because after leftovers I'll still be at 45%. I'd have the +1/+1 boost, which means nothing on his team owes me here. Now, yeah, and now this starts again in the Substitute stall war. I can just continuously click Psyshock for now, because I'm at a decent enough amount of health as he clicks Substitute, trying to get me fully paralyzed, which, as you can see, he does not here, but he crits me, which means I'm actually, I'll be in range of the next discharge, potentially. I'm not now. I take the next one, but I get paralyzed and click Roost here. And because of the crit into the full para, he's actually able to knock out my Mew here, which would have otherwise for sure won this game at this point, because there was nothing left he can do. But really only cost me 1 point of differential here, because now Hydreigon just comes in and finishes off the game with Taunt, just Taunt Dark Pulsing. I clicked Taunt here over Dark Pulse because he wasn't because I didn't know why he was specifically, and just wanted to make sure that my Hydreigon was at the most amount of health here. If I killed him, I was at 60. If I clicked Taunt, preventing him from resting or Call Mining, and then click Roost, as you can see, I'm at 95, so that's better for the Necrozma. And his Necrozma actually turns out to not have a fighting move, so he's actually hard-walled by my Hydreigon. Nope, I didn't want to do that. He's hard-walled by my Hydreigon, which means that the game here is over for sure, because the Rotom dies. And the Hydreigon, sorry about this now, took a bit longer with the Rotom. Now, because I kill the Suicune here, and then the Necrozma can't touch my Hydreigon, which means I can safely Dark Pulse kill it now. And I can finish the game off by killing the Rotom with the last Dark Pulse. And that's a 4-0 victory for us against Gareth. So yeah, GG Gareth, was a fun one. And tough matchup for you for sure. I know that Hydreigon just went in versus you. The Rotom set was pretty annoying, I'm not gonna lie. I was a bit pissed about that. But yeah, and I really didn't think, I mean, the Rotom was annoying, but it never really had a chance to break my team. I just think my prep carried me very well. And then prep and my team matchup. I'm going to admit that I have a good team matchup here, so yeah. But that's the game. Hope you guys enjoy it. My name's Johnny. Cheers. I'm out.